Okay, so let's jump to Spider to implement this nested for loop, which can implement this logic. It is important to understand how this nesting of for loop works. So I'm going to explain this. Let us first consider this code. Here I'm using two for loops. Index 1 is having a range from 0 to 3, and this is outer for loop. In this I'm having another for loop for index 2, which will run for range 0 to 2, and in this inner for loop I am printing the value of index 1 and index 2. Can you tell me what will be the output of this code? We'll look closely and try to understand what will be the output. It's important to note that the index 1 will have its values like 0, 1 and 2. So index 1 will run for 0, 1 and 2, and index 2 will run for 0 and 1 because this upper limit is excluded. So index 1 will be having its value 0, 1, 2, while index 2 will be having its value 0 and 1. So what will be the output? It's important to first answer this question. How many rows will appear in the output? So what do you think? How many rows will be there in the output? Will it be 3, will it be 2, or will it be 6? After answering this question, we have to think what will be its value. Output will have 6 rows. Can you make guess what will be the value of these 6 rows? Let's run this code to see the output. So we have 6 rows in the output. It means that it is taking first value from index 1, and then it jump into the second for loop. Index 2 starts with 0, so it will print index 1 with index 2. The value of index 1 at this point is 0, and index 2 is also 0, so that's why it prints 0, 0. The code remain in the inner loop because it has only executed for 0. So next time it will execute for 1. Index value 2 will change from 0 to 1. So at this point the value of index 2 is 1, while index 1 is still 0. So next time it will print 0, 1. After this the inner loop will complete and it will move to outer loop. Index 1 will change to 1. Then it jump into inner loop. Again it restart from 0. So that's why it will print 1, 0 and then 1, 1. Inner loop is completed again, so it moved to outer loop. This time it will run for 2, while index 2 will take its value 0. So that's why we have 2, 0 and then 2, 1. So this is the output, and I hope this makes sense to you. Okay, now let's make small changes into this. So let's suppose I have 1 and 4 and 2 and 4. What do you think? How many rows will be there and what will be its value? Take your time. It's important to note that index 1 will have value 1, 2 and 3, while index 2 will have its value 2 and 3. Okay, so this time again it is 3 into 2, 6. Let's run this. The output is 1, 2, 1, 3, then 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3. So I hope this give you enough idea how this nested for loop is working. Okay, before moving next, can you tell me what will be the output of this code? So here I am having text 1 with ABC, text 2 with X, Y and Z. Index 1 is running for 0 to length of text 1. Index 2 is running from 0 to length of text 2, and I am just printing index 1 and index 2. Yeah, take your time. What will be the output? Let us run this code. So the output is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, because we are running it from 0 to length of text 1. The length of text 1 is 3, so it will have its value like 0, 1 and 2. And in this case for length of text 2, it will also have its value 0, 1 and 2, and I'm just printing the value of index 1 and index 2, so that's why we are getting this output. Okay, so this time I had made changes in my print statement. So instead of just printing the value of index 1 and index 2, I am using text1 index 1 and text2 index 1. So can you tell me what will be the output this time? Take your time, you can write your output on the notebook. You can pause the video at this point. Okay, let me run this code to check what is the output. So this time you can see that the output is A X A Y A Z. So I hope this makes sense to you. I am extracting first alphabet from text 1, first, second and third alphabet of text 2, inner loop, then it moves to B, so it will be having B, X, Y and Z. Then for C it will run this for X, Y and Z. So I hope you have now enough logic to implement this, and I will see you in next video session with full solution of this problem. But I hope that you can now implement this very easily based on the discussion we have in this session. So please take your time and implement this. See you next session. Thank you. Bye bye.